Hello there guys, it's LaserBeast here. Now, as with most expansions, hunters get lots of fancy new pets to be able to tame. Now there's loads of new models coming in Dragonflight and even a new pet family that hunters can tame, and some of them are exotic, meaning they can only be tamed by beast mastery hunters, but most of them are tameable by hunters of any spec. So I'm going to show you each of them and show you where you can get them on the map so you can go there and tame them whenever you like. We'll see what pet spec each of these pets are, because that is still a thing in Dragonflight, and talk about any unique abilities that they might have. So bear in mind this could change as this is all on the beta, but with that said, let's go. So let's start with the most exciting part, the new family, which is Lesser Dragonkin. Now to tame these you'll need to unlock a new skill called Lesser Dragon Taming. And to get this, you'll need to get to renown level 23 with the Valdrakken Accord, and buy the tome from Straz in Valdrakken. So fairly straightforward, just get your rep up as you can, increase your renown level by doing activities for that faction, and then you'll soon get this unlocked. So I can't currently tame these because I've not got to that level on beta yet, and it's only just been implemented really recently, so let's just see what pets there are available and what spells they have and stuff. So first of all, we've got the Fey Darters. Now you'll be familiar with these little guys most likely, and there are two models of them currently that have been found on tameable creatures. The first one is found in areas such as the Wailing Caverns, Ashen Vale, Stone Talon Peak and Feralus in the older zones, whilst the spectral one is found in the Woods of the Lost in the Jade Forest. Unfortunately, we can't actually use beast lore on these guys to see what family they're in and what abilities they have, but I will guess that they're going to be either ferocity or cunning spec, and probably with an ability such as phase shift maybe, so they take reduced damage themselves, possibly stealth, as you can see they do kind of phase out a bit, or they could potentially have the slow fall ability that we see on a different pet coming up soon in this video. So when we know more about this, I will update this in the comments. Another one in the Lesser Dragonkin family are the Hornswogs. Now these are basically just toads and frogs with dragon features. What can you not like, eh? So you can find these in pretty much every zone of the Dragon Isles, in any kind of coastal / water area. And they come in 6 nice colours: blue, black, green, orange, red and yellow. Again with these, the abilities are to be confirmed. And another nice Lesser Dragonkin getting added to the list in this family are the Veilwings from Shadowlands. So you can find these all over Ardenweald, and again we don't know what family these are going to be in or what abilities they're going to have. So again, stay tuned for more information on those. These do make a nice addition because these guys have a really nice model, and they're very easy to find. They're basically all over Ardenweald in a few different colours. Another pet coming into the Lesser Dragonkin family are the Vorquins. Now these are part of the Stag sort of family, but they're in the Lesser Dragonkin, so you do need to get the new ability to be able to tame these. And they come in a few different colours, found in every zone of the Dragon Isles, usually in the grassy areas. Now these are the ones that are going to be used for the Drakthir Evoker's class mounts, but obviously without any armour, because these guys are the ones from the wild. And again, we're not sure what abilities these guys will have, but we'll find out later. But let's look at all the other new models coming in the expansion. So first of all, we've got the Ice Bears. Now these are very nice looking. These are found in the Azure Span frozen areas such as 6430, underneath the Ronin Shield Flight Path marker. They have the usual bear abilities, nothing new here for abilities wise. And the ones that have the purple glow, do bear in mind that they don't keep that aura on them. That is just something specific to that zone. So when you tame them, the aura will go away. While we're talking about bears, we do also have the Primal Bears. Now these are exactly the same as regular bears, but with the markings and the braided hair. Same abilities, they're a tenacity pet, they do make a decent tank pet. They do also have dash and rest, which is fine for RP, but not really useful otherwise. Now these, again, they're in the Azure Span, in the woodland areas. Something a bit different next, we have the Rhinoceros Beetles. Now there's 8 colours of these guys that you can choose from, and you will only find these in the 2 zones, Ornaran Plains and Thaldraszus. As you can imagine, being a nice solid beetle, these are a tenacity pet, and they have the harden ability so that they take reduced damage for a brief time, and they make quite a decent tanking pet. Next up is a really cool mean looking model in the form of the Armoridons. Now these are found in the Azure Span and the Ornaran Plains. They are a tenacity pet yet again, and they've got the harden ability for taking reduced damage themselves. They come in 6 different colours, and I think they look really nice, like sort of primal dinosaur-y lizard things. Now another very nice flying pet model that we have is the Phoenixes. Now these are a cunning pet, they come with a 50% slow ability for an enemy. There's currently only one that's been found tameable, one type of colour, which is orange, at around 6433 in the Waking Shores. Now there may be other colours added in later, because there are 2 other colours of Phoenix in the game, but they've not been found yet on tameable creatures. Now they're not an exotic pet, you can tame these as any hunter spec, and because of that they don't really have any spectacular different abilities or anything, but they're just quite a nice model to have. Another very lovely looking pet are the brand new magma snails. Now these are an exotic pet, which means they are tenacity. They are very, very good for tanking. It's got a 50% damage reduction ability for 12 seconds, and you can find these in basically any self-explanatory lava-like areas. The first time you'll see these when you're leveling up is in the Waking Shores around 66-36. There are also some magma slugs, but these haven't been found yet on any tameable creatures. Now this one is going to make people very happy. Ducks. Quack quack. You can now tame a duck. And these are in the crane family, so there's 5 colour variants right now that are found in basically every zone of the Dragon Isles, around any water areas, rivers, ponds, lakes, as you would expect ducks to be. These guys are in the newly named waterfowl family, which has been renamed from the crane family, and they are a tenacity pet, which is a bit unusual for a duck, but never mind, ducks are quite hard. So they've got a cleanse ability for themselves, they've got a sort of bite ability that works better when they're at higher focus, and in case you didn't know, you can also do /quack in Dragonflight and quack like a duck, so this is just to get the whole duck theme rolling nice and strong. Next up we've got the rock fangs. Now these are like a cat with scales and they look psychopathic. They're in the cat family, so just like regular cats, and you can find these in the Onaran Plains for the black and brown ones, the golden ones in the temporal conflux in Valdrakken. They're a ferocity pet, as you can imagine, and they have an ability which increases their dodge chance by 30% as a personal defensive, and they've also got the usual cat abilities of stealth, dash, and primal rage, which is the lust ability for you and your group. Next we have another exotic pet which is quite cool, these Slyverns. Now you do need to have the Tome of the Hybrid Beast unlocked to be able to tame these. This is a book sold by Pan of the Kind Hand at the stables in the Hunter class Hall True Shot Lodge for 1000 Order Hall resources. So to get this you do need to complete all the Legion campaign quests up until unlocking the Hunter class mount to be able to buy this. These guys have a slow fall ability that works on you and the pet, it's called Updraft, and an ability called Feather Flurry which gives the pet a higher dodge chance. Now these guys are located in every zone except for Valdrakken, and you can usually find them in any woodland areas or woodland areas that are near the coast as well. For example, around the Stormscar and Onaran Plains, and there's also more colours if you head up to the Shady Sanctuary around 2642 on the map. Now if you thought sheep were pretty badass, well they just got even more badass. You can get a sheep with dragon bits stuck on it, and you don't want to mess with it, so you can find these sexy sheep around the area 2878, there's loads of them in the Onaran Plains. I would recommend trapping these guys in a freezing trap first and then taming them because they will knock you back with like a headbutt ability, but they don't keep this ability when you do tame them unfortunately. These guys are a cunning pet and they basically just have a survival instincts ability that activates when they get to low health. Next up we've got the really chunky dog models, which are called the Bakars. They're like a mountain lion crossed with a dog. They're in the Cunning family, they've got Lockjaw and the Dash abilities, and you can get loads of these in the Onaran Plains around Marukai, around 5232, and you can get some white ones as well in the frozen areas of the Azure Span, such as around 6430. Now there's some lovely new mammoth models in the Dragonflight expansion. There's ones with massive tusk ones, or there's just normal tusk ones, found around this area in the Onaran Plains on the map in the video that you can see. But what's better than a normal mammoth, right? A mag mammoth. Yes, a mammoth that's on fire made of magma. These are a tenacity pet. They've got a trample ability which slows the enemy down by 50% for a short time, and they're obviously in the lava areas. Usually around the Waking Shores is the best place to find them in the first place. It will come across around 6636 on the coordinates. Really cool model for these guys. Another one that people are going to love are the Flowering Crystal Spines. Now these are in the Cunning family. They've got a Mortal Wounds ability, so reduced enemy healing received. They've got Dash, and so these guys are going to make quite a good PvP pet. You can find them in the Azure Span woodland areas around 5160, and there's some purple spike ones around 6138 in the Azure Span. And if you just want your bog standard old regular beaver, you can get one of those as well. Again, they're in the Cunning family, and the same abilities as the Crystal Spines, and they're found in a similar area too, along the rivers in the woodland parts of the Azure Span, where the logs are. You know, beavers love a good log, don't they? Another model of a pet that I really enjoyed coming in the expansion are the Primal Thunder Lizards. Now these are in the Ferocity family, they look really cool. I found this blue one here at 4336 in the Waking Shores. There's also lots of them in the Onaran Plains. Now these guys have the Heroism spell, the Primal Rage ability for you and your party. They've also got a Self Shield for a 50% damage reduction ability. And there's more colours and some lesser versions of these pets in the Waking Shores around 3380. Another excellent model are the Greater Mana Worms. Now these are a non-exotic pet, they're in the Cunning family, they've got a defensive ability and dash and bite for their basic DPS ability. They look really cool and you can use these as any hunter spec due to them not being exotic. They're found at the Azure Archives at the very top in the Azure Span, right at the top of the tower. To go along with the icy bears we mentioned at the start of the video, we also have some icy spiders. Now these are in the ferocity spec. They have the web spray, which is a slow ability. They've also got dash, and they don't have any other special abilities. You can find these in the Azure spam around the frozen and cave areas such as 4961 or 6744. We've also got the Bruffalons. Now these are like horned stags, and you can either get them with antlers or without antlers. Now these are mainly in the Onaran Plains around 5330 above Maracai, and some in the Azure span as well in the grassy areas. They're in the Tenacity family, and they just have a cleanse ability for themselves. Nothing really special there. There's the Horn Striders, which are a bit of an update on the existing model. They're in the Ferocity spec, so they get the Bloodlust spell, Primal Rage, and they can also slow an enemy down. You'll find tons of these in Valdrakken and the Onaran Plains, usually in any area where there's a big open grassy land for them to graze in. And there's tons of different colours, and some of them even have slightly different type horns, so take your pick. Next we've got these Salamanthers. Now there's plenty of different colours of these guys as well, and they're found in every zone other than the Azure spam. These guys are Tenacity spec, and they've got the Mortal Strike ability, Grievous Wounds, which will make an enemy receive less healing. Now next we've got these Smooth Dragon Turtles. Now these can be found in all the coastal areas and underwater. Again, they're a Tenacity pet as you would expect from a turtle, and they've got a Shell Shield ability, which makes it take less damage for a bit. Nothing special. We've also got these Skitterflies. Now, you'll be familiar with these guys because they're the water striders, basically. These guys are in the exotic family, and you can find a lot of these in the Waking Shores and some other water areas. Now, although they're an exotic pet, they are in the Cunning spec, so they come with a cleanse ability for themselves, and they also have water walking for you and your pet, which is quite nice and could come in handy in certain niche scenarios. So there we go, guys, some exciting new pets coming there in Dragonflight for us hunters to tame. Let me know which one was your favourite in the comments and which one you're planning on going to tame as soon as you can get your hands on it. What I may do is do a follow-up video on any of the pets like the lesser Dragonkin ones. I'll show you exactly how you can get that book unlocked nice and quickly, get into the Valdrakken renown that you need to unlock it, and give you some tips along the way there. And probably dive a bit deeper into the new lesser Dragonkin pets and see what abilities they've got when we can tame them and such. So stay tuned for that one, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, please do leave it a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more guides like this. We've got tons of stuff coming up on Dragonflight, which I'm working on at the minute. Very, very busy. So thanks for watching, guys. I've been LaserBeast. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.